phones, Babylons can't crack the code.
What do YouTube? B Kelly back again with another banger video. In today's video, y'all, I'm going to be talking about whatever happened to the quarterbacks in QB1 Beyond the Lights Season 1. Here is what basically QB1 Beyond the Lights is. QB1 follows 3 high school quarterbacks in their final season of high school football and pretty much their day-to-day lives and what they do pretty much throughout a week and especially on game day. And in Season 1, it features Tate Martell, Jake Fromm, and Tavon Bowers. The first quarterback I am going to be talking about today is the one that isn't as known as the other 2 quarterbacks in Tate Martell and Jake Fromm. This quarterback is Tavon Bowers, who attended Bishop McDevitt High School. The thing with Tavon Bowers and his team in this season is they actually got off to a little bit of a rough start. Tavon Bowers was having accuracy issues. The team just really wasn't gelling in the beginning, but they did eventually pick it up. And something that I will say about Tavon Bowers is that he was always working, and Tavon is honestly a very good leader. He's exactly what you're looking for a leadership role from a quarterback. There was not a moment on the show that Tavon Bowers was not showing his leadership skills. He was showing his leadership skills anytime that his team just messed up or they were just down. He would say, we need to pick it up, we gotta get it going, we can do it. He wasn't being forceful, he was being a leader and being a perfect example of what a quarterback is. And not only that, when he went down on senior night with a torn ACL, he was still hyping his team up even when he was hurt, and he did the same thing in the playoff games when he was still out with a torn ACL, and he made sure to prepare the backup quarterback to step up for him in his role. For his senior season, he played in 9 games because he actually tore his ACL on senior night in that 9th game, and for the 9 games he played in, he threw for 1,412 yards, completed 57% of his passes, 15 touchdowns, and 7 interceptions. And on the ground, he rushed for 6 touchdowns as well. Coming out of the 2017 recruiting class, Tavon Bowers was not the most highly touted recruit. According to the 247 Sports Composite rankings, he was a 3-star recruit, ranked as the 1,248th best player in the nation, the 25th best dual-threat quarterback, and the 21st best player in the state of Pennsylvania. Out of all his offers, he would end up committing to Wake Forest. Tavon Bowers' career at Wake Forest wasn't the most memorable as he struggled to get playing time, and he was never a starting quarterback and served as a backup quarterback his entire time at Wake Forest. After the 2019 college football season, he would end up transferring. Tavon Bowers ended up transferring to Gardner-Webb, and he's about to play his first season with the Redden Bulldogs in the 2021 spring football season. Second quarterback I'm going to be talking about was probably the most known quarterback on the series, well, when he was coming out of high school, and he was one of the top quarterbacks in his class, and this is Tate Martell. Now, Tate Martell in his senior season was literally on point the entire time. In his senior season, in the 15 games he played in, he went undefeated 1. He completed 63% of his passes, throwing for 2,362 yards, 41 touchdowns, and only 1 interception. Now let me tell you what he did on the ground as well. Tate Martell rushed for 1,257 yards, averaging 8.6 yards per carry, and 21 touchdowns. Now, if you ask anyone that has watched QB1 so far, they are likely to tell you that Tate Martell is their least favorite person to ever be on the show. And there's a lot of reasons why. Tate Martell in this season, off the field, is very cocky and honestly kind of bratty. I mean, he's showing up late to school, begging his parents for the really expensive Camaro that was blue. He would just do a lot of things that was just moody. He was cocky, demanded for his hair to get cut by his mom. Stuff like that, and it's definitely not a good way to talk to your mom like that the way that he did, but I'm not gonna try to bash him, and a lot of people thought he was way too cocky on the field as well. But something I will say about Tate Martell being cocky on the field, I mean, are you really that surprised? I mean, he's on the best team in the nation, he's playing like he's the best player in the nation, and he's beating the best competition week in and week out. But something that I will say, his off-the-field actions were not the best. Literally tweeting in the middle of the game, talking about Texas who, when you're literally beating the heck out of a Texas team, is not the best look ever. Tate Martell, coming out of the 2017 recruiting class, was one of the best players in the nation and one of the most highly touted recruits as well. It was rightfully so. I mean, Tate Martell might arguably be the best quarterback in high school football history. Now, I'm not saying he's the best. I'm saying he arguably might be one of the best, if not the best. Now, Tate Martell, coming out of the 2017 class, according to the 247 Sports Composite, he was a 4-star recruit ranked as the 56th best player in the nation, the second best dual-threat quarterback, and the second best player in the state of Nevada, and he ended up committing to Ohio State University. Tate Martell's college career so far has not been the best one, especially with how hyped up he was coming out of high school. Tate Martell would spend 2 years at Ohio State, both as a backup quarterback. One season he was redshirting, and the second season he was just a backup quarterback in the 2018 college football season. Then Justin Fields came and he transferred to Miami. Now we get to the most disappointing part of Tate Martell's career so far at Miami. Now at Miami, Tate Martell, people were hyping him up when he was going there. People thought he was going to be the starter immediately. But that was not the case. In the 2019 college football season, Tate Martell was the third-string quarterback, and he barely played at all. In the 2020 season, he ended up opting out, and right now, he is currently in the transfer portal as of this video releasing. Now, the final quarterback I'm going to be talking about from this season is Jake Fromm. Now, Jake Fromm was liked by a lot of people, and just like Bowers, he showed great leadership skills on his team, and his team was very successful. In 10 games that he played in his senior season, he completed 64% of his passes, threw for 3,910 yards, 41 touchdowns, and only 9 interceptions, and he had 4 rushing touchdowns as well. Coming out of the 2017 recruiting class, Jake Fromm was actually the highest rated player out of the 3 quarterbacks on this show, and according to the 247 Sports Composite rankings, he was a 4-star recruit, the 44th best player in the nation, the number 3 pro-style quarterback, and the 4th best player in the state of Georgia. And out of all of his offers, he ended up committing to Georgia. Jake Fromm accomplished a lot in his college football career. He made it to 3 SEC championship games. He made it to the playoffs in his first year as a starting quarterback at Georgia, and even made it to the national championship. In his career at Georgia, he actually threw for 8,224 yards, completing 63% of his passes, while throwing for 78 touchdowns and 18 interceptions in only 3 seasons at Georgia. After 3 seasons at Georgia, after the 2019 college football season, he would declare his name for the 2020 NFL Draft. Going into the 2020 NFL Draft, Jake Fromm was seen as a Day 2 selection, but he would actually drop all the way to the 5th round in Day 3. He was selected with the 167th pick by the Buffalo Bills. In Jake Fromm's 2020 NFL rookie season, he really did not play really at all, as he served as a backup quarterback to Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills. Now that I'm at the end of the video, guys, I want you guys to smash that like button, turn on them post notifications, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that's it. B. Kelly, out!